guys, this is a video about something that's just happened on a driving lesson and I needed to teach her how to do it. It was about priority and who's got priority and when to stop. So the situation was that my student knew that she didn't have priority because there was parked cars on her side of the road and there was people coming towards her. But in this particular situation, the road was quite wide. So even though there was parked cars on our side, the oncoming person, yes, they're coming, but it was quite wide. So we were able to go as well. So we were kind of like the middle car, if you want, going down, parked car on the left. We are now in the middle and then oncoming people. However, one of the vehicles was very large. So as we went down the road, one of the vehicles was a Range Rover or a Land Rover, whichever one, right? But it was way bigger and it was stuck out. Now, because this vehicle is way bigger, it's not our priority with the oncoming people if the road has become narrow, right? So my student, it was okay. It was fine. We got through it. It was okay. But she should have stopped. I would have stopped. So I would have overtaken maybe, I don't know, maybe the 5 or 6 cars or whatever, or however many it was. And then when I got to the Range Rover or the Land Rover, I would have stopped to give way to the oncoming person. Now, this situation can happen with any hazard that's on the left. It may be exactly the same situation, but then somebody opens the door. Yeah? If somebody opens the door, the hazard is on your side immediately. The pedestrian's getting out. Oncoming people have priority. So that open door makes you have to stop. Yeah? Can't just overtake it. Can't just be like, oh, open door, overtake. It's the oncoming person's priority. It can be a situation with a drunk person putting a cone in the road. If it's on your side of the road, oncoming people have priority. If it's a massive pothole on the road, yeah, oncoming people have priority. If it's so big that you need to stop, like a sinkhole, we had one of those in Cheltenham once. It could be a bit of fallen tree. It could be an Amazon box that's fallen off and it's in your lane. It could be a blown bin, so a recycle bin that's been blown into your side of the road. One of those little ones or a big one. The little ones are a nightmare because people behind don't know that it's there. Whatever's on your side of the road immediately makes the oncoming people have priority. The smaller that the hazard is, the more dangerous it can be because the person behind doesn't know that it's there. So here's some drawn examples of what I'm talking about, so it totally makes sense. Okay, so let's just talk about these examples one by one. Okay, so I've got a video about this example 1 here. So I've got a video of example of this in just a second, but this is you, the dark car, and you're driving ahead, and these are all parked cars here. Now, obviously, this is, if you need to go and have a look at my priority video, then go and have a look at it. But this is more so of like more detailed examples. So if the parked car is on your side, the oncoming person has priority because they have no obstruction on their side. But these are examples of sometimes when you can fit just about with the oncoming person, even though you've got parked cars. However, example 1, you might be able to overtake the first 4 cars here because they're all nicely parked or uniform size. And then one of the cars might be way bigger, which is what I was talking about earlier on. So because this parked car is parked badly or just bigger, or their wheels are out perhaps, because of that, we need to come to a stop to give way to the oncoming person. Even though we've been able to overtake lots of cars already, this one sticks out, which means this person's got priority. So you'd be able to go up and then you'd have to stop here because there is not enough room for you just to overtake because you'd be going on this side of the road, which is his priority. So you've got to go up and you've got to stop because he's too big. And then when he's gone, then you overtake and then you can continue down until it happens again. So if the cars are all uniform and they're parked nicely, then you can potentially carry on if someone's coming until another car sticks out like this. And then here's a video of that as well. Okay, so here's a video of that situation. So as you can see, I can overtake lots of the cars here, but the silver van protrudes and sticks out. So I check my mirrors and I slow down. I check the oncoming person, but I've noticed that he's now reversing because he's gone the wrong way and he wants to go in there. If he hadn't and he wanted to continue straight, I would have stopped before the silver van that was protruding because it wasn't my priority. He took too much space. And then moving on to example 2, it can be something in the road. So this is you driving up, and then this is someone else. So there's no parked cars in this scenario, but then there's a recycle bin that's been blown into the road because of weather. So it can be a recycle bin that's been blown in. It can be a bin that's blown in. It can be anything that's blown into the road. It can be a bush that's fallen down because of the wind and half a tree is on your side of the road. It can be a drunk person leaving a cone there. Whatever it is, it might be a sinkhole there. That happened in Cheltenham once. So as you're coming up, when you've noticed that you've got an item on your side of the road, I've drawn a little one of those food bins that's been blown into the road here. So as soon as you see it, you need to carefully slow down, be very, very careful of the person behind, because it's so small, they may not be able to know that you've got a hazard in front of you that can be extremely dangerous. This person, I'm afraid, does not care that you've got something on your side. He doesn't care at all, I'm afraid. He will just go straight through with priority. He doesn't care that you've got that. So you come up and you stop as safely as physically possible before the bin to give way. Now, it depends on the road, yeah? Be very careful when I offer this suggestion, but if it's safe and it's completely okay to do this, it may be a safe idea for you to safely get out when everything is safe and move that out of the way, yeah, for everybody else's safety. But please be careful. This is a very difficult one to deal with, okay? So come up. The most important thing is that they've got priority and you slow down carefully because of the people behind, okay? So in your life, you may find like if something is very small on the floor and you're very worried about it, in your life, you check your mirrors. And if you think to yourself, oh my God, this person is so close behind me, I don't know what to do. It could be advisable for you to put your hazard lights on to say, look, there's something going on, there's something dodgy going on here, which would hopefully make the person back off because they don't understand why you've got your lights on. And then obviously you would stop very, very carefully because of the item in front of you being very small. And then they would go past, and then obviously either stop and carefully get out, looking after yourself immensely and moving the item, or carefully overtaking it depending on the situation. This is probably my least favourite thing to come across when it's been windy, when things get blown in the road, okay? So it can be branches of trees, it can be anything that's been placed on the floor. Nasty situation, this particular one, okay? Example 3, bike, yeah? So I'm sure that you've had lots of experience of this one. You're driving up, there's a moving item on your side of the road, which means you can't overtake because it's their priority. Make sure that you can see enough of the road in front of you. It is extremely important that you don't overtake on a 60-mile-an-hour road. If there's people coming towards you and you haven't timed it right, make sure that you can see enough and that you're in the correct gear so you can pull away with some oomph, and you've got maybe lower gear to oomph round. So you don't want to be in a too high gear if you're going to overtake unless you've got loads of speed already. You may need to lower your gear, especially if you've slowed down for the item, for the bike, and then you can overtake. But be very, very careful. Don't just overtake it. The hazard is on your side. That means that oncoming people have got priority. You may have to stay behind the bike for an extremely long time because there's a lot oncoming people. That may mean even if you're on a 60, you may have to join him to do 15 or 20 miles an hour whilst you're waiting for a safe gap. Then you would check your mirrors and overtake in a lower gear because you've slowed down loads already. Don't overtake on the brow of a hill. If you're going up to a brow of a hill, make sure that you can see in front of you. Don't overtake on a bend if you can't see enough. Just make sure you can see enough and that your acceleration is going to be good when you pull away. Example 3, okay, bike. Example 4. So this is you travelling down past loads of parked cars. There's just enough room for you to go down with oncoming people, so you can be in the kind of middle of the road with somebody coming. But then this car opens its door, yeah, to get out. So they're either getting out of the car or getting into the car or taking their baby out or whatever they're doing. Because of this door being open, the hazard is on your side immediately, and that means that you need to stop. You need to stop for the door that's open. Very important, because you can't just overtake it because you're going to be on the wrong side of the road. So you need to come up, you need to stop for the open door, give way, and then overtake safely when you can. Okay, very, very important. Example 5, a runner coming towards you on your side of the road. A runner often will face traffic and run towards the traffic so they can see traffic, depending on whether there's bends or not. But if they run towards traffic, they can see more clearly about their own safety. If they're running away, then they won't know if they're in danger to leap out of the way. So often runners will run towards you unless there's a bend. This means that the hazard is on your side of the road. It's absolutely essential that you come to a stop no matter what the speed limit is. If somebody's coming towards you, that means the hazard is on your side. You're going to have to stop and give way and then overtake the runner on this, or pedestrian, whatever. Could be a dog walker. Yeah, they might have a little dog with them, whatever. Whatever it is, just come to a stop, give way and then overtake. You can't just overtake it because it's on your side of the road. All right, it can be absolutely anything. These are just a few examples of what can be on your side of the road, and all of those things mean that it's the other person's priority. Okay, guys? So I hope these examples help.